Death. The word itself hangs heavy, a shroud of inevitability we all wear. It's the silent partner in every risk, every adventure, every sunset. Yet, there's a strange allure to stories of those who've stared into its abyss and returned. These tales, whispered across time, hold us captive. They speak of courage, desperation, and the raw, primal instinct to survive. They remind us that the line between life and death can be thin, a gossamer thread woven from luck, timing, and the will to live. This is the story of those who outran death's embrace, who lived to tell tales that send shivers down our spines and ignite a spark of awe in our hearts. The Berlin Wall was more than concrete and barbed wire. It was a barrier cleaving families, lovers, and destinies. Erected overnight in 1961, it stood as a stark symbol of the Cold War, dividing not just a city, but the world into two ideologically opposed camps. The wall stretched for 155 kilometers, fortified with guard towers, anti-vehicle trenches, and a death strip that made escape nearly impossible. For many, it was a daily reminder of the freedoms they had lost and the loved ones they were forced to leave behind. For 18-year-old Peter Fechter, it was a monstrous symbol of oppression that had imprisoned his loved ones. Born and raised in East Berlin, Peter had grown up under the shadow of the wall, his dreams and aspirations stifled by its presence. He often heard stories of families torn apart, of friends who had vanished in the night, never to be seen again. The wall was not just a physical barrier, it was a psychological one, instilling fear and hopelessness in the hearts of those it confined. Driven by love and a yearning for freedom, he dared to defy it. Peter's determination was fueled by the thought of reuniting with his family and friends who had managed to escape to the west. He spent countless nights planning his escape, studying the wall's defenses, and waiting for the right moment. The risk was enormous, but the prospect of living a life free from oppression was worth any danger. Fechter's plan was audacious, fraught with danger, a whisper of hope in a landscape of despair. He knew that many had tried and failed, their attempts ending in capture or death. Yet the desire for freedom burned brightly within him, pushing him to take the leap. He meticulously planned every detail, from the timing of the escape to the route they would take, hoping to find a weak spot in the wall's formidable defenses. He, along with his friend, would make a run for it, scrambling over the wall that separated East from West Berlin. The night of their escape was filled with tension and fear, but also a glimmer of hope. They moved swiftly and silently, their hearts pounding with each step. As they approached the wall, the enormity of their task became clear, but there was no turning back. Their attempt was met with a hail of bullets. The guards, ever vigilant, spotted them as they made their move. The sound of gunfire shattered the night, and the dream of freedom seemed to slip away with each shot. The wall, once a silent sentinel, now roared with the violence of their desperate bid for liberty. Fechter's friend managed to scramble over, the taste of freedom bittersweet with his friend's cries echoing in his ears. He reached the other side, breathless and shaken but alive. The joy of his escape was marred by the realization that Peter was not with him. He turned back, hoping against hope that his friend would appear, but the wall stood silent and unyielding. Peter was not so lucky. As he tried to climb the wall, he was struck by the bullets, his body crumpling to the ground. The pain was excruciating, but the greater agony was the knowledge that he had come so close, only to be stopped by the very barrier he had sought to overcome. He was shot, his body collapsing in the no-man's land between two worlds. There, in the shadow of the wall, Peter Fechter lay, a tragic symbol of the countless lives torn apart by this brutal divide. His story is a poignant reminder of the human cost of political conflict, and the enduring desire for freedom that no wall can ever truly contain. Deep within the emerald embrace of the Southeast Asian jungle, where the air is thick with humidity and the sounds of wildlife create a constant symphony, a different kind of prison held its captives. This was not a prison of concrete and steel, but one of nature's making, where the dense foliage and treacherous terrain formed an almost impenetrable barrier. Hidden from the world, this makeshift jungle prison was a place of suffering and despair. Barbed wire and crude structures stood as silent witnesses to the cruelty inflicted upon those held within. The camp, abandoned by time but not by memory, was a stark reminder of the harsh realities of war. For Dieter Dengler, an American pilot shot down during the Vietnam War, every breath was a fight for survival. Stranded in an unforgiving environment, he faced not only the dangers of the jungle, but also the constant threat of his captors. Each day was a battle against the elements, and the ever-present fear of discovery. Captured and imprisoned in a camp where cruelty reigned and escape seemed impossible, Dengler clung to hope. The conditions were brutal, with little food, rampant disease, and the oppressive heat taking their toll on the prisoners. Yet amidst the suffering, Dengler's spirit remained unbroken. He dreamed of freedom, of returning to the skies he once soared. The jungle, his prison, also held the promise of freedom. It was a paradoxical place, both a cage and a potential escape route. The dense undergrowth and towering trees that confined him also offered concealment and a path to liberation. Dengler knew that the key to his survival lay in his ability to navigate this green labyrinth. His escape was a testament to human resilience, a symphony of meticulous planning and sheer grit. With every step, he defied the odds, using his wits and resourcefulness to outmaneuver his captors. The journey was fraught with peril, but Dengler's determination never wavered. He moved through the jungle with a singular focus: freedom. He endured starvation, navigated treacherous terrain, and evaded enemy patrols, his will fueled by a burning desire for freedom. The jungle tested him at every turn, with its myriad dangers and relentless challenges. Yet, each obstacle he overcame only strengthened his resolve. He foraged for food, found water in unexpected places, and used the jungle's natural cover to stay hidden. His story, a tapestry woven from courage and desperation, reminds us that even in the darkest depths of despair, the human spirit can soar. Dengler's journey through the jungle was not just a physical escape, but a testament to the power of hope and the unbreakable strength of the human will. His legacy lives on, inspiring us to find our own paths to freedom, no matter how insurmountable the odds may seem. The icy grip of the North Atlantic held no mercy, its frigid waters a stark reminder of nature's unforgiving power. The waves crashed relentlessly, each one colder than the last, as if the ocean itself was mourning the tragedy that had unfolded upon its surface. The RMS Titanic, an epitome of luxury and human ambition, met its tragic end on that fateful night in April 1912. This grand vessel, once hailed as the unsinkable ship, now lay broken beneath the waves, a testament to the hubris of mankind. The ship's grandeur, with its opulent interiors and state-of-the-art technology, was no match for the iceberg that sealed its fate. Amidst the chaos and despair, stories of survival emerged, etched in both bravery and sheer fortune. Lifeboats, hastily lowered into the freezing waters, became the last hope for many. The cries of the distressed echoed through the night, a haunting symphony of fear and desperation. Yet, within this turmoil, acts of heroism shone brightly, as passengers and crew alike fought to save as many lives as possible. One such story is that of the Navratil orphans, Michel, age 4, and Edmund, age 2. These young boys, innocent and unaware of the full extent of the disaster, found themselves thrust into a situation far beyond their comprehension. Their wide eyes reflected the terror around them, yet they clung to each other, a small island of familial love in a sea of chaos. Their father, traveling under an alias, had boarded the Titanic with the boys, their fate intertwined with the doomed vessel. He had hoped to start a new life, away from the troubles that had plagued him. As the ship's fate became clear, he made the heart-wrenching decision to save his sons, knowing he might never see them again. As the ship sank beneath the waves, their father, in a final act of love, placed them in a lifeboat, ensuring their safety above his own. The cold night air bit at their skin, but the warmth of their father's love provided a fleeting comfort. The lifeboat descended slowly, the boys' eyes fixed on the diminishing figure of their father, a man who had sacrificed everything for their future. The last image of him seared into their young minds, a poignant farewell that would stay with them forever. His wave, a silent promise of love and hope, was the final connection they had to the man who had given them life, and, ultimately, a chance to survive. They were among the few who survived, their tale a poignant reminder of life's fragility and the enduring power of love in the face of tragedy. The Navratil orphans' story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the profound impact of a parent's love. As they were rescued and reunited with their mother, the boys carried with them the legacy of their father's sacrifice, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness of that fateful night. The year was 79 AD. Mount Vesuvius, a slumbering giant overlooking the bustling Roman city of Pompeii, roared to life. The eruption, a cataclysm etched in history, buried Pompeii and its neighboring towns under a torrent of ash and pumice. Yet, amidst the devastation, tales of miraculous escapes emerged. One such story is that of a baker, his name lost to time, who was spared from the fiery demise that consumed his city. As molten rock and ash rained down, he sought refuge in a cellar, the earth trembling above him. Days later he emerged, covered in ash but alive, a testament to the capricious nature of fate and the will to survive against all odds. The twilight of Imperial Russia was a time of upheaval, where the Romanov dynasty, once seemingly invincible, teetered on the precipice of collapse. As revolution swept the nation, Tsar Nicholas II and his family found themselves ensnared in a web of intrigue and danger. Their story, one of captivity, fear, and ultimately, brutal execution, is a chilling reminder of the fickle nature of power. Yet amidst the tragedy, a glimmer of hope flickers. Rumors persisted that one of the Tsar's daughters, Anastasia, may have escaped the massacre. These whispers, fueled by eyewitness accounts and a yearning for a fairy tale ending, captivated the world, becoming symbolic of the enduring human spirit and the refusal to believe that hope can be extinguished entirely. These stories, spanning time and geography, paint a vivid tapestry of human resilience. They are testaments to the strength that lies dormant within us, ignited in the face of unimaginable adversity. Each escape, each brush with death, leaves an indelible mark, shaping not only the lives of the individuals, but also echoing through history, reminding us of the indomitable nature of the human spirit. These tales remind us that life is precious, precarious, and often unpredictable. They urge us to embrace the present, to cherish our loved ones, and to never relinquish hope, even when darkness seems all-encompassing. The echoes of these escapes resonate deeply within us. They remind us that we are all capable of extraordinary strength and courage when pushed to our limits. They teach us that while we may not be able to outrun death forever, we can face it with bravery, grace, and an unyielding will to live. In the end, these stories are not just about escaping death. They are about embracing life in all its messy, unpredictable glory. They remind us that every sunrise is a victory, every breath a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit.